Hello guys and welcome to another great episode of Death Blow Podcast. Subscribe, like and share my videos. Death Blow Podcast is also on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Castbox, Podtopper.se, TuneIn and other audio platforms. I also have an email where you can write to me if you don't have social media. Instagram and Facebook for all updates and information on new video releases. Today an episode a little different from the others because I wanted to talk to you about a music channel that made the history of music in general, and I'm talking about MTV. While doing some research, I found a program called Headbangers Ball that played rock and metal music late at night. Not living in the United Kingdom or the United States, I had no idea that this program existed in the 80s and 90s. I only learned of its existence thanks to YouTube. On Facebook some time ago, I came across a photo of Vanessa Warwick, a well-known and historic face of the program, and I went to sift through the various comments of the people who lived that era. The nostalgia they felt when they saw the photo of the historic presenter was imminent. Give us back at Bangers Ball. I miss Into the Pit with extreme music. It was precisely thanks to this program that I met this band, and so on. I could continue for hours quoting comments from everyone, and I said to myself, why not learn more about this? Who doesn't remember the MTV charts in the 2000s or various programs that broadcast live music and exclusive interviews? Well, if you don't remember because you are too young, I can confirm that you have lost the era when you waited for the exact time in front of the TV to watch new videos in preview. At the time, it was the only way to discover new bands and news. I'm certainly young for Headbangers Ball, but I remember the late 90s with great pleasure. It was enchanting in front of the screen watching the music videos they broadcast during the afternoons. In my country, Italy, the opening of the MTV channel took place way back in 1997, and I remember programs like TRL and others. But nostalgia for the old days aside, MTV Headbangers Ball certainly marked an era for those who watched it. Being younger, I don't know if the Italian MTV also broadcast this program. However, it was the only channel where you could see videos of new bands and even extreme metal. Interesting. Doing various searches on the web and reading the various comments, I asked myself, but why not reopen a music channel like in the old days? Maybe you'll call me crazy. Maybe for some it's not even that important and it certainly won't change someone's day. But why not give space to more musical content? In my country, for example, MTV Italy is only on pay TV. And let's draw a veil over the contents it broadcasts. There is no free-to-air music channel except radio channels. You will say, and what fault do I have? Of course, it's not the listener's fault, but today there are no longer programs that manage to excite the public with music. Let's find out in detail what MTV Headbangers Ball is, and I'll tell you a little about the story. Wikipedia says Headbangers Ball is a music television program that consisted of heavy metal music videos airing on MTV and its global affiliates. The show began on MTV on April 18, 1987, playing heavy metal music videos from both well-known and more obscure artists. And then, however, with the mainstream rise of alternative rock, grunge, pop-punk, and rap music in the 90s, the relevance of Headbangers Ball came into question, and the show was ultimately cancelled in 1995. The name Headbangers Ball was originally invented and used by DJ John Brandt of Bury, Greater Manchester, and was used on his rock and metal road shows from 1980 onwards and toured throughout the UK with great success. John Headbangers Ball rock charts were also regularly featured in the pages of rock publications, Kerrang and Sounds, along with many features on the show in local periodicals. Let's discover the important phases of this MTV show and a little about their careers. They are for the American version. Kevin Seal from 1987-1988 was an MTV VJ in the late 1980s, the host of the Club MTV Pilot, and one of the hosts of the influential alternative music program 120 Minutes, which debuted in 1986. After leaving program, hosted MTV's Headbangers Ball from 1987 to 1988. Adam Clark Curry is an American podcaster, announcer, internet entrepreneur, and media personality known for his stint as a VJ on MTV. In 1987, Curry became a VJ in addition to making spot appearances between music videos. He also hosted the Headbangers Ball programs. Ricky Wakeman. David Andrew Ricky Wakeman is an American television and radio personality. He is best known for his association with the late 80s and early to mid 80s, the 90s hard rock and heavy metal scene, hosting the MTV Headbangers Ball from 1990 until the show Cancellation in 1995. Jamie Jasta, or Jamie Yesta, I don't know. James Shanahan, known professionally as Jamie Jasta, is an American singer best known as the lead singer of the metalcore band Hatebreed and the sludge metal band Kingdom of Sorrow. He hosted the Headbangers Ball from 2003 to 2007. Jose Mangin, from his site to josemangin.com, is an energetic presenter and conversational interviewer. Jose's television and digital hostel history includes a 4-year stint helming MTV Headbangers Ball. For the European version, Vanessa Warwick, real name Vanessa Young, 1990-1997. Manager and production assistant, wrote occasionally for music magazines such as Metal Hammer or Metal Forces, worked for several record companies and undertook freelance activities such as promotion or marketing. She quickly made a name for herself with her versatile work, and in 1989 she found a job as a production assistant at the British regional broadcaster MTV Europe. Just 2 years later, she became co-producer and host of the music show Headbangers Ball, dedicated exclusively to metal and hard rock. Just think that from 88 to 89, the broadcast lasted 1 hour and a half. Then, from 89 to the last episode, 2 hours of music and interviews. As for the closure of the program in the American version, it happened suddenly. Also, from the Wikipedia page, Wakeman was informed of the cancellation days later when, after filming what would become the final episode, he was simply informed via phone call that he would not show up for work the following week. No information was provided, official reason for the show's cancellation, but it's suspected that it's because MTV played grunge, alternative and pop punk more often during its main programming, even though they didn't play much metal or interview the bands. A truly unfair decision for fans of the program, who wondered what time the new episode should have been. But this would no longer happen. The European show with Vanessa Warwick remained on the air until 1987, limited to 1 hour and a half. Their return after years of hiatus in May 2003 on MTV2 in America, but it did not have the same success as its debut. In 2021, Wakeman is back on the air on Gimme Metal TV, but I believe it's only available in the US. The point of matter is that with this video, I just want to launch an idea. Would you like Headbangers Ball to come back on the air like the old days? I hope that this can be achieved soon, not only for me, but also for you nostalgics of old school metal. I found that in the last 20 years the way of discovering new artists has changed, but I don't find that this has encouraged the music market. I have to say, as obsolete as TV is today, I believe it is one of the most important tools for making your music known. Unfortunately, if TV continues to be what it is, the music does not re-emerge, especially the more elaborate one, it will become increasingly difficult to meet new bands. The network, however vast, perhaps too much, becomes dispersive and there is no listening guide. It seems like no one cares about music in general anymore. Let us never stop believing in it. We need to make sure that songs created by important artists don't disappear. Songs that made the history of music, not only of extreme metal, but also of hard rock in general. Let's revive metal on MTV Headbangers Ball. And if you are dreamers like me, never stop believing that it cannot be achieved in the future, maybe just when we least expect it. Okay, that's all for this episode of Death Blow Podcast. Subscribe to the channel, like and share my videos. Death Blow Podcast, you can also listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts and other platforms. See you soon, guys.